have I had a favorite scene or my fondest moment in Paragods? I feel really, really good when I destroy what people are trying to do by being too funny. For me, there's not much better of a feeling when you're doing a comedy than when the people that are operating the camera and that wrote the lines that you're going to say start cracking up, and so you have to do it again the same way. And so I really like being able to do that because my job title here is making people laugh.
Funny side, there's ones that stand out where going to a scene, the dead body, and I'm in one of those suits. I come rushing in, slip on the floor with the blood and land right on the dead body, covered myself, totally disrupting the scene, and walking out of it and just looking up at my colleague and saying, "Is it bad?" I looked back at that and I thought that was really funny. Just very little words. But
my fondest moment was actually when I met Blue in person for the first time, and it was on this series. We'd been friends online for a long time, and then we finally met because of this series.
There's a lot, man. We had a lot of good times on set, a lot of laughs. It might have to be the banana incident because we just could not keep a straight face.
What has been my fondest moment? The initial episode, the lobster incident. I loved everything about it. It was cute. I got to be funny. It was this pathetic storyline about this poor old guy on his bucket list. And it was just, everything about the episode made me laugh. I loved it.
There's a few. I think my favorite scene was when Chad's tied to the bed and we have to come cut him out of a chastity belt. And there's more going on than initially is revealed in the scene when other people just start showing up out of the closet and out of the hallway, and then Cheryl gets a surprise when she takes out the bolt cutters.
One I actually keep on thinking about is it's really funny is when you were, I think it was like your first episode with lines, I think, and you were on the floor and we were bandaging you up because you hurt yourself. No, actually it was a training. It was a training. I was being trained. We were training on how to wrap up people with bandages, and I just did the most horrible job. But it was comical. It was funny.
And that was our first time ever actually being in a scene together too. We've known each other for years.
Years.
And so my favorite scene is also with you.
I think I know which one you're gonna say.
And it's where we have a sex scene together.
We do.
And that's also my first sex scene I've ever filmed.
We didn't do anything bad.
No, we did it.
It was very PG-13.
Yes, but it was fun.
The one scene that always sticks out is Chris Doobie chasing the blown up rubber balloon across the parking lot in some Berlin park with people at the park, and it just seemed totally wrong, and that one sticks out for some reason, but it just got crazier from there, I guess. So
I mean, I kind of have to pick one with Mike, right? He'd probably kill me if I didn't. I don't have to.
Well, what's your favorite Digger scene and what's your favorite non-Digger scene? Answer.
I think my favorite Digger scene was part of the 80s episode where Digger and Digger and Ed are doing the coin scene from Throw Mama from the Train. That one was really cool to see them, especially if you knew the 80s references. That's a great episode. If you haven't seen that one, watch it. My favorite non-Digger scene, there's a lot of them. One that comes to mind is when Demetria did the Porky's bit, again from the 80s episode. Wow, she was phenomenal. I mean, just...
Another one was a really crazy scene where I was quite embarrassed actually because I had to be so loud. I was in the ambulance, and I had to scream outside of the ambulance, stay away from my husband, you home wrecker. And bystanders, people walking by, were like looking at me, and I just wanted to crawl down and hide because I was so embarrassed, but it was pretty funny.
Funniest being the banana scene, because I didn't even prepare for that. I knew what I had to do, and just having to retake the scene several dozen times because everybody was laughing is a fond memory. Also, sitting at Jenkins' cemetery stone pulled heartstrings for me. That was probably my favorite scene.
And my favorite scene was actually the one that I shot with Blue Jess. She had OD'd, and it was just a really fun scene to do.
This season, season 5, we did the scene where there's some action that happens on the captain's desk. That had me just rolling. We had to do it multiple times, but it was, wait till you see it. That was one of my favorite scenes.
As far as serious episodes, the one where Matt shot himself, and I discovered his body trying to revive him, was really emotional. I think back to those scenes and I still get emotional. Challenging myself to get to that point will always stick with me. And there's some ones that, for the last episode, I think a lot of people can relate to, going through tough times in life. So sometimes it's not that difficult because you can just kind of put yourself